might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everyone doing? Today is Monday, April 22nd, 2024. We are live. We are at it again. If you do not know who I am your host of the show, Coffee and Kata Morning Show. I am Tech Coach Ralph, where we're engineered to win and we take no days off. Like I said, we might take an hour off, get some time to, some time to ourselves, as people like to say. But at the end of the day, no days off. Always looking to get better, doing something productive every single day. Whatever it is, as long as it's productive, as long as it's taking you towards a goal, put in some time into it, right? No days off. Work more than you relax, all right? That's what I'm saying. Happy Monday, everyone. Welcome to the show. It is already 8:05. Let's go to, I'm going to put the timer up right now. Still have to figure out a better way to do this timer, but we are going to make do with what we have. I am going to put up, we are going to go to, what day is today? 22nd. And let's go over to 8. And let's do 8:50 today. Get a head start on work and we'll get after it. So AM. And I'll change it on the other ones when we get there. But like I said, this is the Coffee and Kata Show. We are going to jump into our news. But first, we have our candid conversations coming out at noon Eastern time today. I'm going to be talking about how your attitude is your altitude. I was just hanging out with Trey and Joseph on the Tech Niche Tips channel, and they were talking about layoffs and AI replacing people. And I said, a lot of the times people artificially advocate for what they want instead of just being competitive. And when you do that, you are going to inflate the market and your business value, not your human value, take that for what it's worth, but your business value, what you bring to the proverbial table and the literal table as well. And then when they start, okay, how can I lower costs? Because you didn't deserve that cost, like what you're charging, but you forced it upon them without competing for it. So now when you gain global competition or artificial intelligence competition, then who's going to win? If you didn't earn it, who's going to win? So they find a way to replace you. So be careful what you advocate for. Like what I was saying over there, make sure that you actually earn it. You put in the work to get what is yours, right? Don't go out there and earn it. All right. So that's the message for this morning. Noon, your attitude is your altitude. All right. Tune in for that at noon. Looking forward to seeing you there. That is going to be our candid conversation for today. All right. But let's jump into our news segment of the show. Let's move this here. All right. So, like we always like to do to get it started, we're going to talk about the numbers to watch for this week. And let me go and update this timer as well. Let's go here. And let's do 850. Yeah. All right. And let's show the timer. Cool. So the numbers to watch for this week. So let's go with economic growth and inflation will be the top concerns this week when the U.S. releases its gross domestic product report for the first quarter. Much stronger than expected retail sales in March prompted analysts at Goldman Sachs to lift their... Let's zoom in a little bit. Let's zoom in. There we go. Okay. One more is going to be too much. All right. So let's keep going. Much stronger than expected retail sales in March prompted analysts at Goldman Sachs to lift their GDP estimates to a 3.1 annualized rate from 2.5%. The economy has grown at a 3.4 pace in the prior quarter. Meanwhile, fast inflation has led Fed Reserve Chair Jerome Powell to temper expectations of when and if, a big if, the central bank will lower interest rates from their 23-year high. Yep. They keep playing with our emotions, all right? So, and listening to a Peter Schiff interview, very educated person, on the economy and stuff like that. Some people agree with him, a lot of people disagree, but he's making a case on why I could be wrong, but why the rates are why they should stay to where they're at. So it's interesting. It is interesting, all right? I probably have to go back and watch it. It was an interview he did with Patrick Bet-David. So anyways, the Fed's favored inflation gauge, the personal consumption expenditure price index, is expected to increase slightly to an annual rate of 2.6% in March, according to a Market Watch survey. While new jobless claims have remained unusually stable at 212,000 for 5 out of the past 6 weeks, the numbers have fluctuated when not adjusted for seasonal factors. So because we are coming out of a seasonal time frame, I guess the numbers are going to start to change. So like we always like to do, let's look at upcoming releases include Tuesday, tomorrow, April 23rd, the U.S. Census Bureau will release key housing market indicators, including the number of new single-family homes sold and the number of new building permits issued by the government in March. Wednesday, April 24th, the U.S. Census Bureau will release its monthly report on durable goods orders, which measures manufacturing activity. Thursday, April 25th, the U.S. Department of Labor will release initial jobless claims for the previous week. The report is a proxy for layoffs, tracks the number of people filing for unemployment benefits, and the Bureau of Economic Analysis will release preliminary gross domestic product estimates for the first quarter of 2024. And then Friday, the U.S. Department of Commerce will release March's personal consumption expenditures price index, the Fed's preferred inflation measure. The report measures the changes in the price of goods and services. The University of Michigan will release its final reading of April's Consumer Sentiment Index, which measures how Americans feel about the current and future economic conditions. So just reading this, something I was thinking about, we read this, but how many, do we actually go and check these stuff on the days that they're supposed to come out? So it just hit me as I was reading this. We should find a way to follow up on this to see, okay, what is the actual information that came out? And as they come out throughout the week, it's not like we can, I don't want to take any segments from our currently scheduled shows to do it. So I'm going to think about what would be a good day and time so that we can have a review of these, because every week on Mondays, we read all of this, right? But I think it's going to be important for us to also follow up on it to see, okay, what in the world is actually going on with this? So I'm going to think about it, and we'll come back and we'll revisit this topic on how can we follow up on this information to see what are the actual numbers and what are economists saying about it. So stay tuned. We'll figure something out, and if we have to throw on a 30 minutes on a particular day to review it, we shall find out. But I'll keep you posted. I will keep you posted. All right. So that's that. All right. Now let's get into another story. So we have. All right. So Tesla's latest woe: China price war. More headaches for Tesla as the automaker is forced to cut prices again in China. The Wall Street Journal reports the world's largest auto market is in the throes of an electric vehicle price war in the country, after sales of EVs outstripped those of traditional cars for the first time, hitting 50.39% of all passenger vehicle sales in the first 2 weeks of April. The price cuts also seen in the US and Europe, come as Tesla is expected to report its first revenue decline in 4 years on Tuesday. Meanwhile, CEO Elon Musk focus on robotaxis, leaving insiders feeling unsettled. Tesla has not yet been approved to test the autonomous taxis on public roads and hasn't built much of the infrastructure the project would require. The actual number of people affected in Tesla's recent layoffs could top 20,000 people, Bloomberg reports, citing anonymous sources. So that's going to be very, very interesting to follow up on. With do I have an alarm? About to have an alarm. Hold on. Let's see here. Dismiss. All right, got it just in time. Let's fix that real quick. All right, cool. So yeah, so that's the Tesla news. Let's move over to our next one. All right, so Nike, our beloved Nike, which I think I only have like one pair of Nikes. I don't really wear Nikes like that. I have a bunch of Adidas somehow. I don't know how, but let's not get into that, right? Anyways, Nike is laying off hundreds of people, and that is unfortunate, right? So Nike is cutting about 740 jobs at its global headquarters in Beaverton, Oregon by the end of June, according to a state filing. The company is seeking about $2 billion in cost savings amid an expected drop in revenue. It's the second phase of a 2% reduction that began in February from its headcount of approximately 83,700 employees. Wow, that's a lot of people at Nike. Competition is growing from smaller brands like On, Oka, and New Balance. New Balance has been around forever. And their popularity is spreading to the mainstream. The Wall Street Journal reports it's been a tough year for sports gear, adds Barron's. Lululemon is also planning to lay off some workers and close a warehouse in Washington. I've seen the price of Lululemon leggings, and I don't know how. Mitch, do you know how Lululemon can charge that much money for leggings? I don't know. Like I saw it, I'm like, are you serious? Anyways, that is unfortunate for Nike, but it's business. It is what it is, So anyways, let's go on to our next one. All right, so Chipotle prices go up, as do sales, because you gotta have that guac. While consumers balk at rising prices across the restaurant industry, Chipotle burritos and bowls continue to sell. The chain has upped its prices 6 times since 2021 and is set to do it again in California. Of course, in California. Yet sales grew 8.4% last quarter. Chipotle has benefited from a higher income customer base. So Chipotle is for rich people, okay. And a perception that its customizable menu items are more diet friendly than burgers. I would say burgers without the bun would be. I don't know. That's my choice. Burgers without the bun. Anyway, Mitch is gonna at me now. All right. According to the Journal, it has plans to open up around about 300 new restaurants in 2024. So, being a Chipotle franchisee is where it is at. So, on the topic of Chipotle, did you guys hear about the shooting that happened at a Chipotle? I think it was in Chicago, but I could be wrong. Over the person not getting additional guac, not getting additional guacamole. Asked the lady for more guacamole because, like, with these price raises, with these price hikes, I think I'm entitled to more guacamole. And the lady said no. He said something back, and then he pulled out his pistol, shot the lady, and then he walked around the counter. He got his guac and he left. He probably did pay for it, but I could be mistaken. But he did. It was a shooting that happened over guacamole. It is what it is, right? Anyways, that is it for our news stories for today. Let's get back to full screen. All right, let's check the chat, see what we got going on out here. So Mitch says, yo, just stopping by to say what's up. The sky, Mitch. The sky is what's up as always. Because if the sky comes crashing down, we are doomed. All right. And Mitch says, wow, they are using layoffs, not restructure. Hey, sometimes it's just a layoff. Sometimes just a layoff is like, hey, we just can't do it. It's like, you got to go. And Nike just gave Caitlin Clark all that money. And it was the cost of 740 employees. But hey, she got to do what she got to do. You know, hey, when she can hit threes from as far as I can at 35 feet, Mitch, she earned it. You know, if she can hit threes as far as I can shoot threes, then she's got it. All right, 35 feet. That's what I'm talking about. All right. And this is probably why they're doing the layoffs. Yeah, Caitlin Clark got you fired, apparently. And you might as well just eat steak. And guess what, Mitch? Guess what? I do eat steak. I eat a lot of steak. And Mitch says, yep, he saw the guy who shot over the guac, saw the prices, and they probably were like, well, if you want this additional guac, he said it's an extra $3 for the additional guac. And he's like, $3? And you know, like, back in this, I've been in Chipotle, right? They'll take like half of a scoop of the meat, and then you're like, oh, can I get a little bit more? And they'll look at you like you're crazy. I'm like, I'm paying like $20 for this plate. Like, come on. And then they're like, all right, and they give you they handpick one more piece, and then they drop it on there. You know, so not the right way to handle it. You could just not go to Chipotle anymore, but that's what happened. Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. And lastly, you get over it. You be holding on to stuff. Anyways, all right, let's get to work. All right, let's get to work. Enough fun and games. Let's get to work. All right, so where's my what in the world is going on here? Why? I know what happened. All right, I'll fix that later. But we will get to 22, 45 a.m. There we go. Oh, put the wrong time. We want to do 8:50. I will get my life together because I'm finding a lot of tricks and shortcuts into the software. So I'm gonna do some really. I'm really liking the software, the way that I'm able to do some certain things. But I'm gonna get my life together. I'm gonna get my life together. All right. So where is my software? There we go. And we are gonna get to it. So we have 27 minutes. All right, Mitch, take it easy. Great hanging out with you this morning on this channel as well as on Technique Chips with Joe and Trey. Awesome channel over there. You have a wonderful day at work, and we'll catch up tomorrow night on the Q&A show. All right. So let's get to it. Let's continue. All right. So all right. So here's the deal, right? The tests that were failing the other day, I'm still looking into it to try to figure out why that's happening, but I'm not going to spend all the time today working on that. I want to continue with the features because when we run the test individually, we know that they work. But just like there's some type of dependency thing that's happening that's not keeping the tests separate from one another. So I'll work on that on my own and I'll figure that out. But we can continue with implementing like the other features that we needed. Let me see if I can go over to here, and and I want to go. No, going to the wrong site. Go to LinkedIn. All right, let's go here. And why is this cutting off? Let's minimize this. Why is the screen cutting off? Let's go here. Gonna have to adjust the screen size because it's cutting off some of the stuff. But there we go. Let's put it like this for now. All right, so let's go over and look at our board because the thing I want to get into now is the clear all button. And by the way, like last night I had some meetings with my tech barbarians. We were working on getting the setting up our Docker Compose file to facilitate testing a lot easier. And it was crazy, but we made some good progress, and now everything is working the way it should. Going to be merging in the changes for that. All right, so what I want to work on today, or what I want to start implementing, is the add clear all button to the input fields. We have and I think at this point we can start doing it in a test driven format where we're going to start writing our widget test before we start writing our code. And then as we write our widget test and we run the test, we'll go and start implementing the code that we need to do it. And we also have to figure out, okay, how exactly are we going to do that? And how do we want to do it? So I just moved that story to in progress. And I think this one is done. And all right, and see there is unique Vahu in the chat says, "Hey brother, can you help me? I have a problem." Well, what is that problem that you need help with? And I will see if it's possible. Let me know. And if you need to email me, you can email me at ralph@techcoachingwithralph.com. The email address should be in the description. You can leave me a comment, however, or you can talk to me in the chat. Whatever it is, you can let me know, and I can see what I can do. All right. So this is the story that we're going to be working on. And if we go back over here, here is the deal, right? Let me see. Can we see this okay? All right. So what I'm thinking about is if we were to add this the clear all button, what would be the best spot for it? So thinking like when all right, so when I'm using the phone, right? It's like I have my thumb, or I have my thumb like here. So I would want as I'm scrolling up and down the phone, the clear all button to be like somewhere where my thumb is going to be easily able to press it. But I also don't want to make a mistake in pressing it when I like by mistake, and I don't want it to cover anything else. So the question is, should we put it like all the way at the bottom, like after you fill out everything you clear out, or should we have it floating, right? And the part about having it floating is where it's going to land, and I don't want it to, I don't know. So what I'm thinking about doing, we can do it in iterations, right? I'm thinking about just adding it at the bottom of money spent, where we just have a clear all, where we're going to clear all the fields. And then based off user feedback, we can make modifications to like make it float or whatever the case may be. But to get started, it would be good to just have it at the bottom as a clear all button, okay? So what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to go all the way to the bottom. I'm going to start writing a new widget test for it. All right, let's just go all the way down. And we're going to go in here. And we're going to say test widgets. And we're gonna call that clear all button clears all input fields and resets the calculations. And then we're gonna do I haven't remembered this syntax yet of this. It's going to be async. All right, async, and then all right, and then we're gonna close this. And let's see. So you said that you have question index, question and question index. And that it's showing problems in this line of my code. So just looking at the code itself, it looks like you're trying to get something from a list. Index question index. With that line though, it's so what I'm reading here is what you're trying to do is you have a list which would be called questions, and then you have where it has index question is like the position in the list, and you're trying to get a field or a key that says questions index. But what's the error message that you're getting? Like, because you're saying it's showing up as an error, but what's the actual error? And then with that actual error, I might be able to give you some insight on what to look for or how to Google it and stuff like that. But that line doesn't tell me exactly what the problem that you're having. So if you let me know what is the actual error, put it in the chat. I can probably give you some more insight on it and what you can look into to try to fix it. But yeah, so just let me know, right? Let me know. And let me update this timer as well. Where is all right. So let's keep going. And let me show the timer. Cool. Okay, so let's see. So that's what we're gonna do, and we can start off with the same things that we always start off with. We're gonna go and take. I don't even know if we need this, but whatever. We will go and take this right here. Mm. But okay. So we need to close that one. Okay, I'm doing it backwards. So close that, and then close that, and then there we go. So we have this one, and let me move this one over here for now because we don't really need this one. Not now, at least. Once we start actually writing the code for it, then we will be able to put it in. So now, if we take all of this same data, we are going to copy all of this over here. Copy all of this. All the way to, we're going to put in all the information. All the way up to here. All right, there we go. Perfect. So we need all of this because we're just, and that's where the opportunity for refactoring and putting in the right methods and stuff like that. Right now, we want our MVP, want it to work and stuff like that. But you have to have, not only do you have to have clean code, you also want to have clean tests, you know? So keep that in mind. So let's run this again. And this, because like this is already passing. The next thing we're gonna have to do is, all right, once we figure out this clear button, then we're going to, that's when like we're going to do the part of making sure that all the fields get cleared and that it shows 0 for everything. Okay, so all this is good. Now we're going to say click the clear, or let's say reset button. Click the reset calculator button. So after you click the reset calculator button, then you would want to say confirm. What is the thing for, how do they call it again? It's let me see, find the name of it. TDD act assert. It's like the AAA arrange. All right, so arrange act assert. All right, so this is going to be our arrange part. Let's put a little note here. So arrange is like setting up the information that you need in order to perform the test. And then we go down here, we're going to say act and then assert. So this is where we're going to assert. We're going to say confirm that the fields are cleared. Confirm that the values are 0. Okay? So that's pretty much what we're going to be doing between today and Wednesday. So what we're going to do here is we're going to say, let's just take a, where do we have the button? Let's take the button for the clear icons. Oh, it should be in this test up here. So if we were to take the code for our test code for, let's see. Where is it? Okay, there you go. Clear. All right. So let's just copy. Just copy this. So act. We're gonna say put in this variable, reset all fields button, and find by key. And the key is going to be called, so we don't have this key yet, but if we did, it's going to be called, let's call it reset, QA, reset all fields, or let's call it ID, or key. Let's just call it key. Reset all fields button. All right, so let's run it now. If it passes, then we keep going. If it fails, then we have to go and add that button. Let's go to run it again. I need to like find a better way to organize this thing so that I can get everything open at the same time. All right, so it still passed. All right, cool. So it passed. So now if we do tester dot tap reset fails button, now it should fail because it doesn't exist. I should not be able to find that field or that button to tap. All right, perfect. Exactly what we want, right? So you write the test, you run it, it fails. Once it fails, you write enough code to have a failing test. Then you write the code to make it pass, and then you move from there, right? So what we want to do is I'm gonna minimize this for now, and I'm gonna bring this back down, or I can just yes, bring it down. So let's go towards. So we're gonna add it all the way at the bottom. So this is going to be the money spent. So it starts off at the line. This one is at padding. Okay, so we're gonna need to add a padding. Let's go here. We're gonna say padding. And if we just follow this one, we need another. Copy this. And child align. All right. And inside of align, we're going to have alignment top center. All right. And then another padding. Just copy this. Nope. Padding again. Let me see. What am I getting wrong? Child of alignment. Okay. Always have to remember to put in these. Okay. Remember. Oh, it's like an if statement. Okay, cool. So we're gonna do a child here. And here for the child, we want a button. So let's see. Let's go and look over into Flutter buttons. All right, so let's see what type of buttons we can use for this. Maybe a raised button. Have any examples? Foreground. There's no examples of these buttons. All right. Let's try the raise. What's elevated between? What's the difference between elevated and raised button? Let's go with migrating buttons with custom overlays, flat button, text button. Let's see. We'll try this one. So let's just type it in actually. We'll go with raised button. Or over here. Hmm. Let's do. Why am I not getting the buttons here? Okay, so we gotta do text button to kick it off. And then we're gonna do style and raise. Still don't see the raise button. Button style defaults, button style, outline button, outline button. Migrating A. We need the on pressed, and let's just take out style altogether. Add